In my research, you've mentioned using monsters as metaphors for mental health.
Yeah.
When did that connection first start to click for you as a writer?
Well, it's interesting that my relationship with my own mental health and watching other people in, with various forms of anxiety, depression, personality disorders, whatever you want to call it, that I had been using monsters before I even was aware of it to talk about my own struggles with anxiety and depression and whatnot. I had always been using them as metaphors, as kind of like a easier way to bring it up, to talk about that, like there's something either wrong with me currently, or I'm not feeling the best right now, or there's something wrong with a certain individual in my life. They were already serving as metaphors before I started to make that connection that I was doing that, if that makes sense. It's like they
Mhm.
appeared before I had any understanding of them. Like, for example, in my book series, The Greenland Diaries, there's the monsters, the Unnamed, which are like these shrouded, faceless creatures. They got these giant claws. You can see their ribs. They kind of phase in and out of reality. I very much, going back and working on that series and revising it and just constantly having it on my mind, based those monsters on, this is going to sound very generic, but on my father. My
Okay.
father I have a very sweet father. He's a very good man, but he was abandoned when he was 7 by his father, and he grew up without that relationship, and that always made it difficult for him to communicate more as a father to me. And
Right.
in the Greenland Diaries, the Unnamed, they kill people, but they actually, and I don't want to give too many spoilers to people, but they actually resurrect people. They kill people and they sew them back together,
Ah,
because the people they can sew back together that come into this world, that they I call them the reanimated in the books. They can communicate, and the Unnamed cannot communicate with humans, even though they kind of want to. So the only way they can communicate with humans is by reanimating them. So that broad metaphor is my own relationship with my father, where he can't necessarily communicate with me, but he kind of hopes that I can communicate with him, kind of idea.
that's
So yeah,
very
that's just,
cool.
well, thank you. Yeah, that's just one example of how I use monsters as a metaphor in my storytelling.
But I always find it super intriguing to actually hear from the person who composes or writes or has the whole thought process that goes into it. I love hearing how it all comes together. So that is really, really, really interesting.